Yo, what's up, Super Fun Force? It's Captain Gamesta, and today I'm excited to show you my classic constructed Lexi deck. Definitely having fun playing her. And Tales of Aria, first of all, is my favorite set from Flesh and Blood up to this point. I really like Oldhim and Briar. I have really strong competitive decks with them, and I finally decided to get behind Lexi. I've never played a Ranger, and it's kind of nice to see what cards from Tales of Aria I haven't really used, obviously. From the Ranger class, and there's even some Lightning and Ice cards I haven't used from Briar and Oldhim. So let's get this going right away. Basically, this is in test mode. I'm playing on Felt Table, which is really nice. You get to play against a pretty smart AI. I give major props to the people behind this program. It's fantastic. It's helped me obviously learn the game and test the game, my decks and stuff. So getting started, I'm going up against a champion-winning Bravo deck from the Flesh and Blood events deck page. So this is definitely a tuned deck I'm going up against, and they're starting off really strong, but I'm bouncing back. And basically my strategy with Lexi is I'm trying to take advantage of Lightning and Ice, and I'm kind of learning the nuances of her deck. So I'm watching this and narrating this in retrospect because I really wanted to concentrate when I was playing the game and make sure I was learning the cards and trying to sequence things properly. However, you'll see that I did make several mistakes, which is fine. I'll learn from them and whatnot. But this is definitely an exciting game, so stay tuned till the end. There's some phenomenal plays, really cool combos and stuff, and then of course it's a surprising end for sure. Conclusion to this battle. So Bravo I think is a very difficult matchup, especially for Lexi, because anyone that comes in with like huge strong, tall attacks is a problem, right? Because if I'm forced to block with multiple cards, I can't do anything on my turn, which is, the resource and card management strategy of this game. And then, of course, when Dominate swings in, then you have no choice, right, but to block with one card. But here I am looking at some combo lines. My setup is pretty interesting. This deck is actually very budget-friendly as well. Only thing that's being really expensive here is the Spring Tunic. Everybody runs Spring Tunic. It's great. But I don't know if it's going to be the best for this. I don't even run Spring Tunic in my Oldhim and Briar deck, and I can pretty much win against all of the top decks right now. I also didn't use the New Horizon. I was testing with that, and I like it, but I don't have enough resources to take advantage of two arsenal zones. So I'm really having a lot of fun with Merchant Hood in this deck. I like to use it also in Briar because you really want especially with fusing, you want to get the right cards in your hand, so it really helps you against really bad draws or bad hands. As you saw earlier, I had to basically use it. And I'm also really liking Dreadbore. It's nice to be able to just invest one resource and have your next arrow already have the ability to, I guess, go again, or what was it? But it also doesn't let them do the defense reactions. Really cool. Really, really cool. So yeah, I'm having fun. Again, I'm trying to balance. I'll show the list once I think optimize it a little bit more. There are some cards I definitely want to take out and maybe tweak some of the amounts. This is again classic constructed, so it's a 60 card deck, and you can only have up to 3 of a card. Let's keep that in mind here. Shock Charmers are really nice as well. I think actually that's another expensive card. So the two main expensive cards, as usual, are the two equipments, being the Fiendel Spring Tunic and the Shock Charmers. Alright. So I'm really liking this. I'm obviously trying to do the Frazzle here. I'm happy to have finally gotten 2 Lightnings. You're kind of limited to what you can do depending on what your fusion is, but you can still make some really cool plays. I think Snapdragons is not necessary for this deck because I run so many arrows. The only thing I have right now is Heaven's Claws, which kind of is easy for me to, if I have the resources, to just play because it costs 1, whereas like all your arrows always cost an additional 1 because you have to arsenal them up unless they already started in your arsenal. So here I make a mistake. I think is this the one where when I use Snapdragons in this game, I definitely use it incorrectly because again I'm getting used to using Ranger. But yeah, this is scary, right? Like, so when they come in with something like this, what is this? The Righteous Cleansing? Look at that, 10 damage. That's a 10 power attack. And I'm like, you know what? I am going to I have a pretty good hand. I mean, I can go either way, so I'm like, let's test the capabilities of my deck. So I'll take all 10 damage, putting me behind. So I started off pretty good. Usually if Bravo gets a really strong start, like his Crippling Crush or even a Righteous Cleansing on turn 1, if I don't have all the cards to block it, that can be a really, really big start and a big lead. So, you know, fortunately I had the lead up until this point. I decided to take the 10 damage again to see if I can actually bounce back. You know, because I do have a pretty nice hand here, as you're going to see. I can make a nice little combo chain here using my ice. Really cool. So it is fun. I mean, there's a lot of sequencing involved with Rangers, and I like the theme. It's kind of growing on me to actually arsenal up to fire. At first I was like, it's kind of annoying, but it's working, and I'm sure as the game evolves they'll tweak it more. You know, especially with bows like Dreadbore, and of course I'm sure future Rangers will have special abilities to help that, and you know, even just cards in general. And it's always important to try to get something in your arsenal. Again, I prefer Ice because of Lexi's power to give them a Frostbite token. Again, I find that the Lightning isn't that great. So what's cool is Blink. If you put Blink in there, you kind of can get 2 additional actions, which is really strong. But for this deck, because it's, you know, resource intensive to put arrows in, it's not quite working. So that's probably one of the changes I'm going to make. I like having Blink because, you know, it's basically a 3-pitch is the main I guess purpose of it, and then of course it's a lightning, so I always need to try to balance out my lightning elemental cards for fusion. But other than that, you know, it's unfortunate I can't take advantage of gaining an action point and also flipping it up in my arsenal to gain Go Again, because that's actually a really cool little trick there. But here you go, I'm doing the Winter's Bite, which is also really nice. Make them discard and give them a Frost token because of Lexi, so that's really powerful. I like that combo a lot for sure. Yeah, I added Frazzle in. At first I didn't have many lightning. When I first made this deck, I basically made it like, I was calling it Ice Sniper. So I'm sure a lot of people either build Ice Lexi or Lightning Lexi, but again, I'm trying to find that balance so that way keep my opponent on their toes. I can be a little bit more predictable and it's more enjoyable. Again, I really like Tales of Aria and playing the elements and the different fusion cards and the specializations. I think people are not fully taking advantage of those cards. You know, a lot of people that run Alexi, you know, people that have been starting from the very beginning of the game, you know, they tend to use all the staples like the Command and Conquers, like the Sink Below, the Enlightened Strike. So for me, it's kind of a positive that I don't have access to those expensive cards, because now I'm focusing on using all the Tales of Aria cards, and I like them better. And there's a lot of things that are comparable, you know, like, and even things like Staunch Defense, and even like well, Pummel. I really like Pummel, so Pummel is something that's definitely I'm going to be using for sure. But there are some equivalents to like Command and Conquer and Staunch Defense, you know, within the Tales of Aria. And I think if we don't see the cards reprinted generally, I think classes will get similarly powered cards. Alright, so here we go again. I'm trying to pull some cool tricks here. You know, again, unfortunately I can't take advantage of my Snapshot. I really like Seek and Destroy as well. I think it's an underrated card. Definitely more fit for like Azalea and a generic Ranger or just a vanilla Ranger, but it's too good to pass up. I like using it, and again, one of the very few, if not the only card now at this point in my deck that's not elemental based. It's just a really cool ability, I think, and it's nice to have some kind of buff that can go either lightning or ice. So that's why I'm using that one for sure. All right, whoa, here we go, coming again strong with a, it's gonna be a tall attack, let's see. Oh yeah, 8, whew, 8 attack. Pretty tricky for sure. But again, I think I'm planning if I should take it because I have a pretty strong counterattack. That's kind of what my strategy is. It's like, I'm sure most people obviously play this way where you're trying to gauge like, should I take the attack and then, you know, fire back and counterattack? So I'm kind of trying to plot it here. You know, again, our HP is pretty much neck and neck. I have a slight lead, you know, which isn't really that saying much because again, Bravo will swing in with like, you know, an 8 attack, a 10 attack. He hasn't gotten his Crippling Crush specialization yet, so that's always something to be wary of, you know, try to prepare for. But ultimately, yeah, I decide might as well try to block this one out. And I think it's because, yeah, my arsenal should be looking like I can at least do something, right? Because I have 2 elements in my hand. And then, yeah, I obviously don't get a power, but at least I get to snapshot this round. And what's nice is I'm going to arsenal my Amulet of Ice, so I can at least Frostbite, hopefully diminishing the capabilities of the Bravo. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. And it's also important to hold on to Blink. I always want to try to have, I find that sometimes if I arsenal my, lightning card, and then it's like, I get the lightning fusion, then it's always unfortunate to not be able to fuse out of your arsenal. So it kind of gives you one less of a card to use, but at the same time you need it to use for fusion, Yeah, usually with the 4 attack from this hammer, I'll usually take it. I mean, still, it's something to scoff at. 4 damage definitely is quite a bit. And we're getting down to the wire here, so this is where it's getting exciting. It's like I'm gonna have to either just go all out because he'll probably, Bravo will probably win the long range game. So this is nice. Give him the Frostbite token, gives me a little bit of a, buffer here to hopefully not take a lot from him on his turn. And yes, light it up, a card that I think is pretty good, So I'm trying it out. You definitely want to weave ice for this. So that's pretty nice. I came in with an 8 attack of my own. And then, wow, the staunch defense though, man, really helped out. But as you can see here, still got damage through, plus the ability of the equipment, so that's nice. Hasn't broken away his equipment, so definitely that was a much needed attack. And then again, I have another lighted up right there, so that's good. Yeah, again, another really underrated card, I think. I haven't seen any championship winning decks use lighted up, so hopefully I can make use of it, prove its worth for sure. Other than that, it's pretty standard, the way it's been being built so far. It's just a matter of, balancing out the the ice and lightning fusion, as well as the resources. Make sure you have enough attack actions versus non-attack actions. And again, I'll probably show my list in a future video, again, as I optimize it and stuff. But so far, having really fun with it. It's a lot different than Briar and Oldham, and I definitely, again, have not played any Ranger. I also have a bunch of Blitz decks, as you guys saw in my other video. I have a Benji deck, which is a Ninja. I don't have any Ranger decks in Blitz. I play six classes primarily in Blitz. So far in Classic Constructed, I'm just playing Tales of Aria exclusively. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I mean, Bravo's looking interesting, especially the Bravo from Everfest, because hey, he's using it's like all the elements from Tales of Aria. So I'll probably branch out to a Bravo star of the show eventually. All right, back to the game. Now this is where it goes down. I'm excited because I was like, this is it. This is really tense, and that's what I like about Flesh and Blood. It's definitely when you're battling one-on-one and getting down to the wire, when it's really close like this, anything can happen. So really exciting. Just want to make sure I play my best combo lines and sequences, and basically sacrifice the tunic here to keep whatever HP I have left. So being able to block with that one made a huge difference. And here we go. I'm just gonna go for the final big combo. I have all lightning with the lightning presses, so this looks very good for me, guys. Let's see if the Bravo is gonna be able to block properly and how the AI is gonna respond. So yeah, they blocked to match. I don't know if they could have overblocked, but I'm sure other players would have if they could, just to be safe. And I also have the Shock Charmers, so this ended up awesome and perfect. Got the 2-win and the extra Shock Charmers, and it looks like they probably could have. Yeah, oh well, that was close. Very exciting, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Keep your faith safe, pray, spread that love, and be thankful. More Flesh and Blood coming soon.